Without question, LinkedIn is a great platform to help you find your dream clients. And I'm not just saying that as somebody that's spitting theory. We've made over 6 figures on LinkedIn. In fact, in our course LinkedIn X, I show you live how Robert made $300,000 on LinkedIn for his agency Westrom. But the problem is, most people don't know how to use it properly. So in today's video, I want to show you how you can use LinkedIn to get clients using an actual example that actually worked in the real world. No theory, only practice. That's why you're on this channel. That's why you're about to subscribe if you're not on this channel already. That's why you're going to like this video, because what we're going to share should be in a course, is in a course that we have charged people money for, hundreds of dollars for, and you're going to get it for free. With that being said, let's jump in. Here are some quick tips to go through before we show you the real example of us closing a dream client on LinkedIn. First is your LinkedIn profile. And we can show some examples of optimized LinkedIn profiles here. Robert's profile, Robert Indresh, my profile, Alex Berman. You can also look at Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels. He has a great profile. So what makes a great LinkedIn profile? Well, you want to make sure it's optimized, that the headline says what you offer, that your profile picture stands out, that your banner tells people either about you or what they're going to get on the profile. Your work history should be filled out with details about what each company did and what you did for each company. Not just, I was a project manager at X, but at X company, we do this thing. As a project manager in the last 6 months, I did this thing, this thing, this thing. And you can see the examples that we're showing. And at the end of the day, it's LinkedIn, so you should look professional. It's not like Twitter, where you can run out with a Pepe the Frog avatar and get 100,000 followers. You are going to have to dox yourself. You are going to have to be a legit person to make it on your LinkedIn. You're going to have a real name. Can't call yourself Sass Wiz and have a cat as your profile picture. Sorry, Wiz. It's not going to work here on LinkedIn. You got to be more like a Ty Frankel type to make it on LinkedIn. And the easiest way to improve your profile is to look at the examples I just talked about and use them as inspiration. See what they're doing right, and then model that for your own profile. Next up is prospecting on LinkedIn. If you want your dream clients to come to you, it's important to be connected with a lot of people. But you also need to find a balance between too many and too few connections. LinkedIn has 2 different connection types. People can follow you, or people can be connected to you. On LinkedIn, I don't know how many connections I have. I know I have 9,000 something follows as of right this second, but you can have a lot more followers than you can connections. I think that's one of the most annoying things about LinkedIn, honestly, because on Twitter, you just have followers and people that you're following. On LinkedIn, you don't know. So I used to just connect with everyone, but that's not the way they recommend you do it. For prospecting on LinkedIn, there's a ton of tools you can use. Check out alexberman.com/tools. As of right now, you can see all the recommendations, including one that we use for LinkedIn prospecting and LinkedIn outreach. And then there's posting on LinkedIn. In short, you need to have an active profile and you need to be interacting with the right people, leaving comments, leaving engagement on their posts, and then posting high quality content yourself. So how do you find your dream clients on LinkedIn? Now that I've showed you the broad strokes, let me show you an actual example. Notice that this is a much more custom approach rather than an automated approach, or is it? Here's the message from Robert. Hi Claire, looked over your LinkedIn profile and was impressed by your testimonials. 72 is quite the number and speaks volumes about you and your work so far. Would love to learn more about you and what you do. Perhaps over a conference call sometime? Regards, Robert. What do I mean when I say that it's personalized? I mean exactly what I just said. It seems personalized, but this is actually an automated message with one personalized compliment. So the message itself is templatized, pulled from a CSV of leads, most likely from LeadShark, and then somebody had gone through and wrote custom first lines for each one that were then fed into LinkedIn for Claire. You can also use AI to write these custom first lines. I've been seeing a lot of good ones out there, warmer.ai. Quick Lines also is good. You can check out the tools at alexberman.com/tools. We have all our tool recommendations. So you just saw Robert's message, and I can show it to you again because I want to point out a specific thing about it, which is this question at the end. Would love to learn more about you and what you do, perhaps over a conference call sometime? Regards, Robert. This question at the end is so important because it's a yes or no question. Would love to learn more about what you do, perhaps over a conference call? Sure, is the response. It's not like,
who is the person at your organization responsible for lead generation?
It's nothing like that. It's just a yes or no, sure or nah type of question. And it worked. Claire got back and she said, I think you possibly were looking at my older profile. However, they are all still valid. Could you let me know what you would expect the outcome to be from a call, just so I'm clear? You may think that that's pushback, but it's not. These are people that value their time. They want to know what the call is going to be about, which means they're most likely a qualified person, because somebody who has nothing going on is more likely to take a call than somebody who has a ton going on. They are CEOs and CTOs that value their time and they're very busy, so it's okay and you should expect some pushback. Then we responded, yes, I did. Your current profile had a link to your old one, citing many testimonials. Couldn't resist, smiley face. I don't have a particular expectation, but I do have an agenda for intro calls with new interesting people. 1. Intros on what each person is doing, 5 to 10 minutes. 2. Sharing some plans, challenges for the current year, 5 to 10 minutes. 3. Two-way suggestions / brainstorming, 5 to 10 minutes. Would that be okay? If so, I can schedule the call for Thursday, June 13th at 10 a.m. or Friday, June 14th at 3 p.m. Let me know if either date works. Let's see what Robert's doing here. He's starting the message off by talking about the compliment, saying that she's not just a random person in a list. This was meant to be outreach for her. Then he has the call expectation, which is two-way suggestions, brainstorming, intros on what each person is doing. Now, this isn't the exact approach I would take on LinkedIn. I prefer a more direct sales approach. I would reach out to somebody and try to sell them on a software project. And then in this post, I would pitch ideas for them and make sure they really have something to work on rather than just do a meeting like this. But this is Robert's style. He likes to go in a little looser, and that's totally okay. Then he gave 2 options of meeting times that could work for him and possibly for her. Then she pushed back. She said, can you do sooner if you're free? 4 weeks is ages. Because Robert tried to book a meeting 4 weeks in the future for some reason. And then Robert said, sorry about that. It's a long time for me as well. My schedule has been uncommonly full lately, booked till June. Would either of those dates for June work though? This is the time for Robert to hire salespeople if he's this booked. What you really want to do is as soon as somebody's interested in buying from you, you want them to be able to book a meeting for the next day or 2 so that you can ride that hype and make the sale rather than booking in a month or in 2 months. It doesn't make any sense. So a salesperson should have been hired way before this message even went out. But if not, they were hired after, and now we have a sales team. So what are you gonna do? This is the time for you to hire salespeople if this is happening. And she did get back. She said, let's go for that. What is your email address? And I'll send you an Outlook invite. Robert then pushed back and said, would you mind if I send the calendar invite? I already put in all the bridge info, including Zoom link and conference number. Robert prefers to take the lead here and send the invite rather than waiting around for a calendar invite. And then she said, of course, my email is this. Done. Robert says, also, I prefer to use Zoom conference lines. This way, everyone calls into the same line at the scheduled time. And we can chat there. Would that be okay for the call? And she accepted the invite, thus accepting the call. And the reason why he does this is so that everyone gets onto Zoom. There's video. You can see things face to face. And you're not the salesperson chasing somebody down at the time, doing a phone call like that. No need for any of that. Then on the date of the actual meeting, Robert says, hi, Claire, just making sure that we're still up for the call today. Then Claire says, yes, but any chance of pushing it back until 4 p.m.? And he says, I'm booked until around 10 p.m. today, unfortunately. Claire says, okay, stick to the plan. And the meeting happened, call got booked. And as you can see inside of our course, LinkedIn X, this turned into a $300,000 deal. Beautiful. I love it when a sale comes together. And Robert executed this follow-up beautifully because he followed up with Claire on the day of the meeting about 3 hours before, confirming that the call is still happening. This is much better than just assuming the meeting's going to happen, and it's much better than just messaging at the time of the meeting, because by messaging before and getting their buy-in before, you can drastically reduce the no-show rate. For our meetings, I like to message people the night before so they can plan their day, and then I'll also message at the time of the meeting, and if they haven't shown up after 5 minutes, I'll message 5 minutes after. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to smash that like button to encourage this type of content on YouTube, subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman.